Today we're going to talk about the CVP tracing. This is an important concept for you guys to learn, as mastering it shows that you understand the physiology of the cardiac cycle. It is also a very common test question on your board exams. So we're measuring pressure from the RA-SVC junction, so it's important to remember that all these pressures and waves are what is sensed by the RA. Now let's talk about the waves. I like this picture in particular because it reminds us that the traditional CVP tracing begins in diastole, not systole. First, we have the A wave. That's atrial contraction. At this point, the tricuspid valve is open and we're moving blood from the RA into the RV. As the RA contracts, the pressure increases, hence the A wave. Next, we have the C wave. This is the slight increase in atrial pressure that we see when the ventricle contracts against the closed tricuspid valve, and the tricuspid valve bulges into the RA. I think of this C wave as tricuspid to remind me of this. Next, in the cardiac cycle, we have blood leaving the right ventricle. This is the X descent. With RV systole, the right ventricle is drawn inferiorly away from the RA, creating a relative decrease in RA pressure. If you know what a TAPSE is, this drawing of the RV down during systole is where we measure TAPSE. If you don't know what TAPSE is, make sure to ask a cardiac attending next time you work with one of us. At the end of ventricular systole, blood then once again enters the RA. This is the V wave. Then the tricuspid valve opens and blood fills the right ventricle in early ventricular filling. This is the Y descent. I think the best way to learn and truly understand the CVP tracing is to explain this to yourself over and over and over again. Make sure you teach it to a med student. Explain it to a junior resident. If you're able to explain this tracing to someone else, then you really understand the concept. Here it is again. Now go explain this to someone else and begin to master it. In our next chat, we'll discuss how different pathologies present themselves on the CVP tracing.